Good afternoon, Warriors. Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. I'm at a train, so I figured I'd do a video to catch up. I was a little bit inspired by a few quotes over the last week or so, and I wanted to kind of address this issue. But please, before we do that, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Hope you guys are doing well. Staying on your plan, staying and battling on all the time. Every day it's a battle, and every day is something you want to have a conquest of yourself first, and then things around you. All right, so a great comment here. I'm going to shout out to both Information Channel and MonaLisa. I'm going to go back to a couple comments we've had made over the last few days that I want to kind of comment on. So the question is, the topic for this one is, what is the purpose of sperm? It's probably a good question. I don't think I've ever tackled this in a video, but we kind of talked about it in roundabout ways. So let's kind of talk about this one a little bit. So obviously, and for many years, I was kind of reading research and finding all these studies about the fact that if you release energy and you have intercourse all the time, and those type of things, then your semen becomes stronger and there's quality to it and things like that. And obviously you guys have written, and some of the people who don't totally agree with semen retention, you guys, and that's obviously you're right, and I respect that as well. I did that for 47 years myself. But the thing is that as you guys do this, that's something that you guys have your opinion. But the thing is as we talk about this, there's people out there who believe that you should be going ahead and having sex and releasing all the time, and those things are very good for you and healthy, and also good for you when it comes to having relationships and things like that. And there's probably some truth in that matter. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's totally something I disagree with, but after 47 years, to me, that's not the question. And I guess that's the thing that I want to kind of focus this episode on. The question is, what is the purpose of the sperm? Let's examine that and what God gave you the purpose for the sperm is. The purpose of the sperm, as I thought for all these years, was to go ahead and just ejaculate, have fun, and become healthier. Almost like like an orange. And I'm going to make that analogy with an orange in a second. But as you look at this, the idea that you want to say is that, okay, we're going to have fun, let's release, let's have sex, all these type of things. And this become a lot more stronger in the late 60s when I was growing up as a kid. It was this me generation that I'm going to focus on me and getting the most excitement out of my life and the present type of thing. And so, you had songs like My Way and all these other kind of things. And instead of looking at the end result of why you're doing something and the effect it has on your partner or anything like that, a lot of people decided that, okay, it's time for me to pleasure. And now you see the exaggeration of that nowadays, where you got people having body counts of 100 and whatever it might be, and they're saying they're sleeping with so many people, not really caring about the end result or what could happen. And so when you go back to looking at the purpose, in my estimation, the purpose is to procreate. And when your sperm is procreating, that's when you have children. So the question not is whether or not your sperm is going to get better or not, or is it higher quality or not. The question is, how much sperm do you have left? It's a matter of quantity, my friends, not the quality. And this is, we forget, your only purpose, in my opinion, to go ahead and release and have sex is to go ahead and procreate. And for that, you have plenty of sperm. As long as you built it up, you're not releasing all the time. In fact, it's like an orange. The orange is full ripe, it's wonderful. You start eating that orange and breaking it down, it becomes nothing. And the same thing happens with people who release. In fact, there is a lot of studies indicating you have a lot more younger men who are having erectional dysfunctions and having trouble even getting excited. And why is that? Well, there's a good correlation. And I've done a lot of research myself in correlation design. A lot of correlation between having not releasing or releasing and being so weak, now all of a sudden you're scared, you can't get excited at somebody because you've seen so many pictures, you've desensitized yourself to all those pictures that you can't get excited anymore. And so there's a lot more people who are releasing, who have dysfunction, than people who are not. And so when you look at this issue, the purpose is the key. And this is why we talk about this on this channel. The 1% understand this, that you're focusing on your goals. You're focusing on trying to become the best person you can become. That orange is no longer good once it's chopped up and you have nothing left. So the idea, guys, is that you don't want to go ahead and just release all the time. Even though there may be some truth in the fact that it's a better quality, right? It may be that all of a sudden, the more you do it, sometimes you're going to get better quality. But the problem is not that. The issue is you want to keep your energy. I mean, the orange is gone, and you're gone. And warriors, you don't want to be a weak, no good orange, right? You want to be someone who's got that strength. And so the argument, guys, that I was under impression for all those years is the fact that you want to use semen retention for all kinds of stuff, right? Having pleasure, having fun, enjoying things, giving other people pleasure, all these things. Well, there's people who have intercourse who don't release. And I've seen that. I've witnessed that. I've seen people, knowing that in studies and things like that. So the bottom line really is you don't necessarily have to release even to have sex. So when you talk about this issue, and I think this is important because as Information Channel talks about, it's almost like a ripe avocado. Now I used orange, but he's talking about avocado, is opening up. When the semen is outside, it's got a rapid oxidation. It's gone. It's gone. The same thing with the orange. The orange is gone. So if you think about that, you have the power in that semen to have a child. That's unbelievable strength. If you use it wisely, and this is what we're talking about. No reason to go ahead and you want to have children with your wife and you people around you. I'd say wife, I don't really believe in it with a girlfriend, but that's my opinion. Now we're in kind of modern days, so people believe differently. But the idea, guys, is you have that one person you're with. That's a different story. I don't think God has any problem with that. But I think releasing your energy becomes like that orange, where all of a sudden you now become empty and you have nothing left to you. And this is why when we talk about this, we're talking about someone who, it's not the matter of the quality of the orange. I mean, people might enjoy the orange. You might have a great orange, right? If you eat it early enough, but the orange is gone. You're not going to have another orange like that. And that's kind of the idea we're talking about here. And I think Information Channel talks about avocado, and I like that analogy too. But the idea is still the same. The idea is that you don't want to go ahead and blow all your energy and be able to not say, okay, I have nothing left. And I think that's the key. So we're not talking about quality here, guys, because the only matter is the semen is working enough to be able to have a child. What else is the purpose of the semen except to do that? That's a good question to ask yourself as you do this. Once again, it's going to oxidize as soon as it gets out there fast enough. So really, once you do it on on sheets or things like that, there's nothing else left to it, right? The bottom line really is, as you look at this, you're kind of focusing on trying to all of a sudden say, okay, what is my purpose here? My purpose is to become the best warrior I can become, to defend things, to defend cities, to defend countries, to defend my family, and to provide. Our focus should not be on how well our semen is, because that makes no difference. The semen is going to work, and it takes time to produce the semen. We know that. If it takes that many days, I think somebody said 72 days. I'm not too sure about that, but it seems could be very accurate. So if that takes that long, then all of a sudden you're drained. And someone could take your city over. You have a bunch of people like this in the city, or you're not going to protect your family with that kind of approach. So even though the orange might be able to give good juice, right? It's done. It's done. And you don't want to be a warrior that's done. You want to be a warrior that continues to live on and fight battles after battles after battles. And that's why I keep saying battle on is what I'm saying at the end of this. Because you want to continue to build that energy and build it for the fight. This is why Mike Tyson did it for 5 years. He was a monster in the ring because he retained. Now, you have to transmute it, you have to control it, and that's true, because you could have a negative result if you don't. But the bottom line, my friends, is the fact that you got to, in your mind, start thinking to yourself, what am I doing here? What is the purpose of what I'm doing, releasing? What's the purpose for me to do this? What's the purpose of the sperm? And if you think very carefully about it, the body, as soon as it gets aroused, it is ready for procreation. That's all it is. If it doesn't get procreation, it may get frustrated if you don't have some other outlet to go into. This is transmuting. So as we think about this, my friends, the body knows the reason. The mind just has to catch up with it. So again, shout outs to both Information Channel and MonaLisa. Thank you guys. Like I said, I appreciate MonaLisa. I like MonaLisa a lot. I think that even though you may disagree and put out your opinion, I think it's very good to look at. I, in fact, I would agree with you for 47 years. I've changed my mind now, but I understand the point you're making. But the thing we have to think about, guys, the thing we have to think about is the purpose of the sperm. And the only purpose is to try to procreate. And you keep yourself in tremendous condition, and you keep that testosterone high, you'll have no trouble procreating at that point. It doesn't matter the quality necessarily either. It really just matters that you're able to do that and your partner and find someone you can actually have children with. And that's the key. So as we look at this, my friends, don't look at it in a way we're saying, okay, I got to have pleasure and all kinds of stuff like that, because you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to do different types of things. All right, my friends, enough for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Once again, shout outs to you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to try to review these over the weekend and kind of catch up with some new ideas. And we have a bunch of new topics to talk about as well, and a bunch of new shout outs as well. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your day, and we'll try to do one again tomorrow. God bless you guys. Remember two things. First, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, remember to, as I said before, battle on every day, my friends. Battle on!